Today we're going to solve systems with modeling problems, but we're going to solve them algebraically. So let's look at our first example. The JHS choir is selling tickets to a choral performance. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 3 adult tickets, 1 child ticket, for a total of $38. The school took in $52 on the second day by selling 3 adult tickets and 2 child tickets. Find the price of each of adult tickets and the price of a child ticket. So the first thing I'm going to do is identify our variables, and I always turn to that last sentence. It says find price of adult tickets and price of a child ticket. So it's going to help me to identify these variables. So step 1. Now we can use any variable. We could use X or we could use Y. I'm going to use variables that correspond to the problem. So I'm going to use an A and a C. So A stands for price of adult ticket. Don't just put adult ticket, because we don't know if that means number of tickets or what. So in this case, it's actually the price. Price of child ticket. Okay, the next step is to write the system. So now we have to look at information. What is given to us in this problem? So I have 2 equations here. I have on the first day, so day 1, the ticket sales, they sold 3 adults, so 3A, plus 1 child, and took in a total of $38. That's our first day. And then our second equation, on the second day, day 2, the school took in $52. Second day by selling 3 adult tickets and 2 child tickets. So 3A plus 2C. So there's our system. So now we want to go ahead and solve the system. So I need to decide if I want to use substitution or elimination. So looking at this particular system, I see that everything's lined up. We're in standard form here. So I'm going to go ahead and use elimination. If you wanted to solve by substitution, that would be fine. You would just need to solve one of those equations first for one of the variables and then substitute in. So using elimination, I could set this up nice. So I'm actually going to go ahead, and I notice I have a 3A and a 3A. So all I need to do is multiply the second equation here by a -1, and then that's going to go ahead and allow the A's to cancel. So I'm going to rewrite this now. 3A plus 1C equals 38. And now I'm going to multiply the second equation through. So I have -3A minus 2C equals -52. I'm going to solve. So I bring everything down. And this is where I notice that actually those 3A's cancel. -1C equals -14, and then divide by -1, so C equals +14. So that's half the answer. So now I need to substitute back in to get the second half of the answer. It doesn't matter which equation I substitute in. I'm just going to go ahead with the first one. So 3A plus 1 times C, which is now 14, equals 38. So 3A plus 14 equals 38. Subtract the 14. 3A equals 24. And divide, and A equals 8. So now the last thing I need to do is actually name the solution. Because it is a situation, I want to put what each number actually represents with context. So my solution is that each adult ticket costs $8. So notice I have $, because that's the units. And each child ticket costs $14. and that's my solution. So now that you have that, let's go ahead and look at the second example together. Okay. Farmer Matt has 3 times more chickens and cows. When he counts his chickens and cows, there are 80 legs total. How many cows and how many chickens does Farmer Matt have? So again, I look at that last sentence to find out how many cows, how many chickens. So I could use variables like C, but the problem is that I have C for cow and C for chicken, so I'm going to avoid using C. Also, please do not use 2 variables. Don't say like CO and CH. You want just one variable. So I could use X and Y. I could use A and B. I might go ahead and use, I don't know, W and K. That would work out. It doesn't matter. So let's go ahead. Let's just use A and B for this one. And I'm just going to pick it in order. So A is going to be then how many cows? Number of cows. And B is going to be number of chickens. This is step 1. Okay, step 2. We want to go ahead and write a system of equations for this. So as I'm reading through this, let's see what we have. The first equation, it says Farmer Matt has 3 times more chickens than cows. Now this equation always stumps me a little bit because I have to think about, well, how many are there more of? So there's actually more chickens. There's 3 times more chickens. So to put an equation together, and chickens is B, let me just put a B there, and cows is A. So to put, though, my equation together, I'm not going to say 3B equals A, because that doesn't work. So I have to think of it like if I had some numbers. I say, okay, well, let me put some numbers. What if I had, 12 chickens? If chickens equals 12, then how many cows are there? Are there 36 cows, or are there 4 cows, because it's 3 times. So really that would be 4 cows. Okay, so I need to compare them like that. So to set up the equation then, I really want to take the number of cows and multiply that by 3 to get that answer. So my equation then is going to be chickens, or in this case is B, is going to equal 3 times the number of cows, which is A. So chickens equals 3 times my number of cows. Because that way my equation is balanced. The equation is balanced now. Okay, second equation. As I read through this, I see that his chickens and cows all together, there are 80 legs. Legs? What? So now I have to actually use some common sense. Okay, so how many legs does each chicken have, and how many legs does each cow have? Now, obviously, there's going to be circumstances where you might have a 3-legged cow, but typically every cow has 4 legs. So 4 for every cow, plus how many legs on a chicken? Just 2. 2 for every chicken is going to equal 80. So there's my system. I have B equals 3A, and I have 4A plus 2B equals 80. So now we're going to solve using either elimination or substitution. So guess what? I need you to go ahead and solve this system. Show me the work. Put the work down, and then also make sure you go back and identify the solution. Write out the solution using context. With context. And your teacher will be checking that you did the solving and that you have the solution written out correctly, and that will give you full credit then for this homework this evening. Have a great evening.